Hello friends, you are welcome to your favorite inspirational program, Beyond Limits with SteveABBA. Let me start today by saying that do you know that the greatest minds upon the face of this earth today are people that have chosen to speak to themselves even in the face of the darkest moments of their lives. Today, I welcome you to this program. And I would like to be talking to you on something very, very important today. And that is the power of self-communication. The power of self-communication. Do you know that you are the greatest counselor and advisor of your life? No matter how much anybody speaks to you, if you don't get to the level where you speak to yourself, then just know that you're not even ready to start living the kind of life that you want to live. No matter what you're going through, no matter where you found yourself, and no matter what the level that you are today, listen to me. You have got to do the best you can to develop your power of self-communication. When we talk about self-communication, what am I trying to say this morning? I'm just trying to let you understand that there's a voice in the inside of you that must continue to speak to your mind, speak to your spirit, and speak to your heart. Until you begin to develop that voice, that inner voice that speaks to you and communicates to you, you will not find yourself on the path that you are supposed to find yourself in. The reason why a lot of people make mistakes today and they find it very, very difficult to overcome their past and overcome their yesterday is because the voice from within is quiet. It's because the voice from within is quiet. Until you get to that level where you begin to speak to yourself and tell yourself, I can be better than this. I can be better than this. I can do better than this. I can have better than this, and I can get better than this. You have not started living a life that is heading toward fulfilling destiny yet. Listen to me. Every man's life is at the mercy of the counsel that goes on in his spirit. There are times in your life that you need to sit alone and speak to yourself. Look back. Look at where you're coming from. Look inward. Look at your areas of struggles and begin to communicate with yourself. Begin to advise yourself. Begin to counsel yourself. And furthermore, begin to motivate yourself. That voice that comes from within is stronger than a million voices that come from without. There is a moment in a man's life that he gets to that everywhere becomes blank and blind. It's until you begin to speak to yourself that you can come out of that state. I'll be right back. Welcome back. This is your favorite program, Beyond Limits with SteveABBA. I started today by talking about the power of self-communication. And I said 1,000 voices out there cannot equate the one voice that goes on in the inside of you. And that is the voice that is influenced by your willpower. Listen to me. I want to say this morning, and it's important for you to lay hold on this. That whatever it is that you're going through right now, or whatever circumstances you're finding yourself right now, there is something that you need to say to yourself. And until you say that thing to yourself, there's no way you can pick yourself up and head on with what you are desiring to attain in life. I have my own personal stories. I've gone through seasons in my life that almost brought me down. I've had experiences and challenges before that I ended up asking myself, what is even the need? What is even the reason for living? But through these seasons and through these phases of my life, I had to do the best I can to come back to consciousness again and speak to myself. And each time I speak to myself, I try to motivate and inspire myself. I look at the victories I've been able to conquer before now, no matter how little those victories are. And I also try to tell myself that there's something in the inside of me that is beckoning on greatness. And there's something in the inside of me that the world is waiting for to experience. Today, I'm influencing people all over the world, using my broadcast, using my platform to be a source of inspiration and motivation because I made up my mind to speak to myself. And I still speak to myself till tomorrow. Anytime I am confronted with situations and challenges, with situations and circumstances, I sit back and I begin to speak to myself. There is something about self-communication. No one else can do it for you. You can read books, okay? You can listen to motivational speakers and you can listen to all sorts of speakers speak to you. But there's one voice that is stronger than any other voice, and that is the voice that comes from within. So today when we talk about self-communication, what you need to understand is the fact that you need to split yourself into two. Go to the mirror or stand before the mirror. The man in the mirror and the man that is viewing the man in the mirror becomes two different individuals as at that moment. And so it becomes your responsibility to start speaking into the man that you see in the mirror. Michael Jackson sang a song, and he titled the song Man in the Mirror. When you stand before the mirror, who is the person you are seeing in the mirror? That person that you are seeing in the mirror is the one that you need to speak to. That person that you are seeing in the mirror is the one you need to motivate. That person you are seeing in the mirror is the one you need to inspire. Whatever way you can, whichever way you can, but just make sure you are communicating with the man in the mirror, because the voice that comes from within is the most effective voice. I'll be right back. You are welcome back. Now, I started by telling us about the power of self-communication. And I remember saying this, and I'm going to repeat myself, that 1,000 voices cannot equate the voice that comes from within. It is that inner voice that speaks to your spirit that can set you free from your errors, that can set you free from your mistakes, that can set you free from your past, that can set you free from your fears. And there's something about fears. Fear has a way of dominating your mind. Fear has a way of making you feel inadequate. Fear has a way of making you feel incompetent. But anytime you begin to feel the spirit of fear holding you, there are two things that you just need to do. The first thing you need to do is to speak to that situation and tell the situation you can overcome the situation. Then the next thing you need to do to yourself is to speak to yourself, communicate with yourself, and tell yourself, Steve, hey, you have what it takes to conquer this mountain. Steve, you have what it takes to overcome this barrier. Steve, you have what it takes to overcome this challenge. Listen to me. Until you get to that level in your life, you can never win. You can never win. It was Robert Scholar that, of blessed memory, awesome personality, a man that was a major catalyst to the lives of a lot of people, that said that tough times don't last, but tough people do. I want to ask you this question today. Is the circumstances and situation around you determining for you who you should be and what you should be? Until you get to that level where you become the tough one, you will never conquer your fears. Until you get to that level where you become the strong one, you will never conquer your fears. And when I'm talking about being tough and being strong, I'm not talking about physical strength, and I'm not talking about physical toughness. I'm talking about toughness of the mind. The toughness of the mind. You must take your mind to the next level. And the only way this can happen is until you begin to communicate with yourself. Until you begin to communicate with your mind. There are people here and there. There are people all over the world today that are becoming psychologically down. The reason why they are finding themselves in such states is because they have allowed their circumstances and situations to overwhelm them. Listen to me. As you are stepping out today, step out today with a mindset. What mindset? That you have what it takes to conquer your day. But it begins with you communicating with yourself. My friend, it's not over yet. My friend, it's not too bad for a fix. Develop that inner energy. Speak to yourself as often as possible. The moment your system begins to feel down, the moment your mind begins to feel down, start speaking to yourself, stay speaking to yourself, and keep speaking to yourself, because that's the only way you can overcome the pressures of the mind and also overcome your fear. It's a blessed day. As you're stepping out today, have this at the back of your mind, that you have what it takes to conquer your day, because all you need to do is to position yourself and go beyond limits. God bless you. Well, Beyond Limits is a program that has been set aside to inspire and motivate people all over the world. Listen to me, you can partner with us, or you can even sponsor this program from wherever you are. But one thing you must have at the back of your mind is the fact that until there's synergy, there can be no acceleration. So please, our numbers are on the screen right now. Please just do the best you can to call us, and let's go to talk and do business together, because you can go beyond limits. God bless you, and do have a blast of the day. God bless you.